My name is Balaji Venkatesan, and I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I have, in my field of work, I have gone and done other trainings and stuff. I'm an engineer by profession, so I've done some training and stuff before. But in the real estate space, this is my first thing, and I think I hit the jackpot on the first thing. Yeah, I think right from the first time I signed up for. There was a video system online, fast track profit system. What I noticed was the amount of content in there was just so much, right? At times it could be overwhelming, and it's not like filler material. All this is like relevant content that you can just take it, and if you have the patience, just use it and then go and do it, and you can be really successful. And I've never seen any educational company, per se, that gives out that much of value, right? I think of that as leading with value, and I think, it was accidental. In many ways, I'm an accidental real estate investor. I wasn't planning on this. I, was going through Facebook and, thinking about starting a business or something, and I thought about real estate, was in the back of my head, but never pursued that. Came across the Facebook ad, then, got that program, and I was just flabbergasted. I mean, it was like, wow, there's so much content here that literally I could take a year and just learn all this stuff. But I'm also, knowing my personality well, I'm also the kind of person that if I start watching videos, halfway through that, I might just like, okay, I'll just snooze it. So, I was reached by one of your representatives and talked about mentoring program, and I was like, yes, I'm really interested in doing this because I need somebody to basically tell me, okay, all these kind of things, let's go and execute, here's the plan. And that's what I did with the mentoring program and everything, and that went phenomenal, and I learned a ton of stuff, and then I signed up for the Ultimate Results Consulting, which is where I'm here, and it's phenomenal. Just the content, again, Cody leading with value, leading the stuff himself, teaching us different stuff, including we went in and did a rehab, looked at a rehab, 2 houses, one was going through the process of rehab, the other was fully rehabbed, to kind of understand, what needs to be done and all that. And even though, a lot of the stuff that we are doing is from the fast track system and the quick flip for a big profit system, the direct mailing and all that, what the mentoring does is it kind of focuses you, right? I told my mentor, when I was being assigned a mentor, I told Stephanie, I believe it was Stephanie, I said, I want a mentor who will just hold my hand, initially, because once I get the hang of it, I can go and execute, then I can venture out, I'll be fine. But when it's completely new, I don't want to be in a lot of stress, trying to do this. And I need a mentor who's got the nurturing, hold your hand kind of stuff. Every weekend, talking to her, I just come back, I'm so pumped up, I'm so energized. I'm like, okay, she wants me to do this. And then, a couple of weeks when I didn't do what I'm supposed to do, she did hold me accountable. And she did scold me, and she did call me out. And she did say, well, you promised to do these things, and you didn't do it. Now let's see what we can do to get you back on track, So that's what I mean. If I didn't have that mentoring and that focus, I would have, done something. I would have been like, okay, I want to do this, and put it in the back burner, and then it would have fizzled out. Because knowing my personality, I know that once I get into something, and then something else takes my time, I'm going to let it sit in the back burner for a little bit, and then I may or may not get to it. I might have gotten back to it because real estate, to me, after I got into this, was really fascinating. The fact that you can really make money without having to invest a ton of money in there, and that's all covered in the fast track, and so I think for me it was somebody out there holding me accountable, holding my hand, having that guidance, guiding me and saying, hey, this is the path. Come up with a plan and say, okay, you're going to do this. did you do that? If not, why not? And then solve problems along the way. I think that was tremendous for me to understand all that. And I even had my first contract signed because of being in the mentoring program, and Lisa helping me through the deal that I was working on at the time. But after doing that, I still have a few more classes with the mentoring program to go. I think one more class. But when I heard about URC and what it could do to other people, I really want to short circuit that process, right? I don't want to go through that long time, and because if I'm interested in something, I want to go through right away, get it, short circuit the process, get all the knowledge, and then go hit it, right? And I think that's what today's program did for me. But overall, the mentoring program, that's what it did, is focus me into that and then hold me accountable. I think that is huge. I think, it's like, just with the mentoring program, that itself is like, wow, you can go do this. URC, it's mentoring on steroids, right? Because the depth of information that you're going through. I'll just give one example to explain that. Through my mentoring program, I had trouble, with finding cash buyers, primarily because I didn't do what I was supposed to do. That's where my mentor, she called me out on that, and she said, you were supposed to do this and you didn't do it. Well, I came to URC, having not accomplished, what I wanted to build in terms of a buyer's list. Just today, this morning session, I got twice as many cash buyers on my list that are looking for, deals, and they want to work with me, just like that, right? So the techniques and the stuff we go through, that is like the mentoring program on steroids. I grew up in a pretty protected family environment where the right thing to do was to go to a 9-to-5 job, and then you save money, you accumulate wealth over a period of 30, 40 years. And nobody in my family, extended family, has ever ventured out and become an entrepreneur or run a business, right? Everybody worked a professional job, right? My dad was a banker, my brother works as a manager, supply chain manager. So everybody's got a career, right? And I recently started getting involved in a lot of volunteer work. I do animal rights activism and all that. And I always thought, I need to find a way to make money as quickly as possible and then spend the rest of my life doing what I love to do. I don't want to work till I'm 65, not doing the stuff that I really want to do, and then looking back and regretting that. So for me, it was basically, how do I make that money as soon as possible in something, and then I can spend the rest of my life doing something I really love, I'm passionate about. I have a lot of hobbies. I love to play guitar. My mom is a musician, and I want to play with her, so I'm learning. So there are a lot of other passions that I have that I want to pursue, and I just came to the realization, a few years ago, that working a 9-to-5 job is not going to get me there. So I'd always think about, what do I do to make that money? I brainstorm with my cousin and come up with, hey, here's a product idea, let's go and build this product, or something like that. But it never materialized, right? Because primarily, when we pitch it to other family members, they would just laugh it off. But then, accidentally, when I stumbled in real estate and I just saw the video, I'm like, this could be it. Am I ultimately passionate about real estate? I'm passionate about helping people. I'm passionate about making money. But if you asked me 10 years ago, what do you want to do when in your mid-30s and 40s, I would not have said real estate, because it's not something I'm passionate about. I'm not the guy who's going to go and feel excited about doing a demo and putting new cabinets in or flooring. That's not my thing, right? I'm not passionate about it, but this is a vehicle for me to make that money as quickly as possible, so then I can spend the rest of my life doing what I really love, which is whether it, be playing guitar, animal rights, rescuing animals, that sort of stuff. So I think that is my why. That is why I'm doing this real estate, is the motivation to pursue those things by making what I need to make as quickly as possible. I tell this to, all my friends or, people that have asked me ever since I started this business, like, hey, how's the business going and all that? And I tell them, hey, I'm learning a lot of stuff. I'm starting to do some deals, but I'm learning. It's a huge learning curve. I tell them, if you are ever sitting at home thinking, is there a way I can make money, get out of my shitty career or whatever 9-to-5 job, and if you're on the fence, take massive action, bet on yourself, and just go and do it. Because those are in my opinion, those are 2 key elements, right? You have to take massive action. If you're just reading this stuff and not taking action, nothing is going to happen. The second is you have to bet on yourself. You have to be confident that you are going to be successful in this, right? With those 2 elements, the third missing, like a tripod, the third missing is that mentoring and that knowledge thing, right? You can take action, you can bet on yourself, but hey, how do you do that? I think that's where Clever comes in. And, with that education and you taking massive action and just believing and betting on yourself, there cannot be a plan B. Plan A is going to work. So that's what I tell people sitting at home. If you're on the fence and if you're thinking about doing it, not doing it, just do it. A year later, you're going to be extremely happy with that decision. I have no doubt in my mind that anybody who's going through, especially the mentoring program, and if the mentoring program itself is great, to do ERC even better, a year from now, you're going to come back and you're going to be absolutely flabbergasted what you're doing and where you are with your business, rather than trying to do all this by yourself and spend all this time spinning the wheels. Just don't do that. Just invest in yourself. Do it. It is an investment if you think about it. Investment in your future, in yourself. So if you're on the fence, just do it.